The Quran in the City study day today is inspired by the Birmingham Quran manuscript, which is really something quite incredible. It's one of the earliest surviving manuscripts of the Quran in the entire world. And we have it here in Birmingham in the Mingana Collection at the Cadbury Research Library.
Today, presenting Quran in the City at King Edward's with all of you present from all the partner schools and affiliated schools in this amazing hall. It gives me great joy. We celebrate this ancient Quran, which may date back to the very lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad, which was discovered only a few minutes away, as we just heard, from where we stand.
Talking about the Birmingham Quran is sort of like, obviously, because I'm a Muslim, so it's something to relate to. And like doing calligraphy about my religion is a way to learn about my religion, but also like relate to it in a way that I haven't done before.
It was a few months ago that ICON was invited to this working group of fantastic partners in the city to talk about the Birmingham Quran, this brilliant manuscript and the Mingana Collection as well at the Cadbury Research Library. A really brilliant opportunity for artists, to respond to our heritage that we have here and to produce engagement as well with audiences. And I know that Hasiba and Tabby have also been doing a lot of schools work. We've had over 1,000 school children coming through and doing printmaking workshops for the last few weeks.
It's really interesting because the Old Testament of the Bible is incredibly similar, almost the same to the Quran. So it's like a different perspective on the stories I grew up with. And yeah, so I'm from India, so I spend a lot of time there. And it's really nice to be kind of immersed in other faiths. So I've never really learnt a whole lot here about other faiths.
So it's sort of interesting looking at the sort of different types of calligraphy and things, and they're quite different. So if you got like the blocky ones and you got the sort of more classical Arabic. Obviously there are a lot of Muslim people in Kes, so I know a lot about the practices and but not really much about sort of the beliefs behind those practices, I guess.
It's nice because it's a whole day about the Quran when you don't usually have stuff like this.
I feel like learning about the Birmingham Quran is actually really interesting, and I feel like it's very good for everyone because RS in our school is like a really big part, and I feel like it's quite important and a really big part, and I'm actually really grateful that I'm here today. It's quite good.
Sleepers is the name of this art installation, and I'm working closely with the University of Birmingham and have been for many years now. And this art experience, if you want to call it that, really came about from working with the famous Birmingham Quran, which is at the University of Birmingham. And on those fragments, one of the sort of verses on the pages they have is Surah Al-Kahf and the cave. And that, I felt like I wanted to do something artistic with that, and we've been working together, and I decided to build a cave, build an actual physical cave here in the city of Birmingham, and recreate and be inspired by the story of the 7 sleepers of these that's mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf, as well as in the Christian tradition as well. It's the same story or similar. There are some variations.
It's great to learn about the Birmingham Quran because we're in such a diverse city and we can learn all about it and discuss it.
Normally, typically in RS, in terms of looking at the Quran, we'll kind of brush the surface over what the Quran is, the divine revelation, word of God, but we don't really go into as much depth about the history of the manuscripts of the Quran, but by any means, we never get enough curriculum time to talk about anything like that.
And so we were led out, and we stood in front of the sort of garage door, as it were, of this warehouse in inner city Birmingham. The door rose up and revealed just a kind of desert scene, just extraordinary. Like it suddenly entered a spell. But we acclimatized ourselves to the space and began to talk and think, and I think sort of find ourselves elsewhere, really. I think it's a challenge to us all to find new and more creative, more authentic ways of being together today, and I greatly applaud it, and I look forward to what will emerge from the cave.
We had no idea what time it was. and we just felt lost in time, lost in conversation. Everyone just felt like they could say what was on their mind in a safe space and no one was going to judge them. And I've never been in a space like that ever.
To see a desert scape in the middle of Smart Brook, it just seemed so surreal. I never thought you'd find peace in darkness. You can feel some sort of higher energy there, immersing yourself in a cave overnight, being away from your devices, your loved ones, your comforts.
The value of today and the value of studying the Quran as we are today is enormous. I mean, it's fantastic because we have such a kind of vibrant student population. We have such a broad demographic of students within the school, but all of them are finding value in looking at the excerpts of the Quran, looking at the beautiful kind of illustrations within it, the way that it's so ornately calligraphized in different ways. And they're taking those forms, and with these artists, they're putting their own take on it, they're making them more modern, they're doing it through linoprint, through monoprint, and through polygraph. But whichever route they've taken, they've made something that's unique, but that builds on those forms in such a personal way for them. It's fantastic.
I think this day has been really important, especially with the subject matter of the Quran, because it's something so close to me, being someone that's of like Muslim background. I'm also South Asian. It's nice to see students that also have that similar religious faith to feel like they're being seen within the art world and something that they're familiar with and they see all the time growing up that can be translated into an art practice or an art medium. And I think it's quite empowering.
And I hope that these types of initiatives will continue, and collectively we've helped bring the Quran in the city right into the heart of people's curriculums and thinking and creativity, cultural and intellectual. So thank you so much.